Singapore, my friends. Hope you're all doing fabulous. Good morning to you, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. And right away, I see that my dad is here. Thank you so much for coming out, Dad. He is in Bangkok right now. For anybody who's, curious of where's my dad, he's not here today. He's in Bangkok, and he's got about, I think, 5 days there, something like that. And then he's going to be off to Canada, back to the hopefully not too cold tundra. So you can all say hi to him in the comments. And as always, please let me know if you can hear me okay, if you can see me okay, and also where you are from and what time it is. I am curious. There's actually a slight time difference between Singapore and Thailand, I think by just an hour, but that's small relative to how much of a difference it is to North America. Hang says, please try the Hainanese chicken rice at Chian Chan, a Michelin star outlet in one of the food courts. It is also, if I'm not mistaken, located at Clementi Avenue. Yes, thank you for the suggestion. There's actually quite a few Michelin star restaurants here in Singapore, and not all of them are very expensive. I actually did an exclusive video about that for my Patreon patrons, so funny you bring that up. But yeah, there's definitely lots of hidden gems here in Singapore that aren't as expensive as everything else is. Because having spent now 4 days here, guys, we'll get into this as the live stream goes along, but I can 100% say that, yeah, this is for sure the most expensive place I have visited. Like, I'm spending, more money per day than I would in the majority of any other destinations that I visit. But here's the caveat. It's one of the few places in the world that I think is more or less worth it. Like, Singapore can ask those kinds of prices because it is that great. So I'm gonna get into that as we go. But it is expensive, guys. It is expensive. Oh, amazing. Jesse from Singapore here. Very excited to know that you are in Singapore now. Hope you are enjoying yourself. Thank you so much, Jesse. I'm loving my time here. It is amazing. Kurt from Saskatchewan. Hello. Oh, we got Harriet, Jim, and Yuki in the house as always. Thank you so much for coming out. Hello to David. Hello to Sunil from India. Oh, Donalyn Schmidt, hello. Thank you for coming out, guys. Amazing. Thank you all so much for coming out. We already got 130 or 140 people here in the chat. Fantastic. Somebody asked what time it is here in Singapore. Right now it's right at 10 a.m. I usually like to start my lives at about 10 a.m. because it's a good time difference for North America. Oh, my mom is here. Privyet. Thank you for coming out. Cool. So sweet of my parents to come to my live stream. So sweet. Okay, guys. So I do have a pretty, as I try to always do, a pretty big walk planned for you, and it's been challenging, to be honest, because I have just limited time here. I only got here, I guess, 3-4 days ago, and my main priority is always filming my main video and getting some of my other social media stuff. So I've walked this walk once. I did it yesterday, so I think I more or less remember how everything goes, but I guess we'll see on the spot if I forget something. It's great that we have some locals here. Maybe you guys could help me out of where I go to get certain places, but I feel like for 3 days I've done really good to see as many things and film as many things as I have, and be able to do this live stream for you guys. So I'm very excited that we're going to be doing this today, because the next couple of days I think there is supposed to be the forecast of rain. I don't know how much rain, but luckily today the weather looks fantastic. So let's make the most of it. Let's make it happen. Let's flip the camera here, and you can see that we are kind of at the end of this alleyway or whatever, and we are starting our walk in the area that I am staying in, which is called Campong Glam, and I love this area. I'm so glad that I chose to go with it, because even though staying in like Marina Bay, the fancy, beautiful tourist area would be awesome, it's just so difficult to get a remotely budget friendly meal. And at least being in here, even though some of these restaurants are a bit ridiculously priced, there are some like hidden places or more local places within walking distance where it's a bit more reasonable. So I really like this area for that, and the fact that it's also quite walkable. You guys know I love that. It's very colorful. There's lots of beautiful street art, which you'll see in a minute. Oh my goodness, a very generous super chat. Don't want to, Jesus, miss that. Doug Yadden, thank you so much. One of my lovely Patreon patrons. Been a while since I could join a live chat. Great to see you, Alina. Thank you so much, Doug. I hope you're doing great. I hope you're getting all my postcards. And actually, for anybody in my Patreon patrons that's in the postcard club, I sent out cards from Kuala Lumpur about a week ago, but I'm sending cards from here in Singapore as well. I'm gonna send them on Monday before I go. So thank you so much, Doug, as always. Thank you for coming out. Hope you're doing great, and I hope you enjoy this live stream that we are going to be doing here. So yes, very colorful, lots of street art on another street. And this area actually has a lot of history of being a place where a lot of the Muslims that have been in Singapore would live. There's a beautiful mosque right at the end of this street, which you'll see in just a minute. So it has, a very rich heritage with that demographic. And all down this street especially, you will see a lot of Middle Eastern restaurants, like a lot of restaurants with especially like Turkish cuisine. So really lovely. And I love the whole pedestrian streets with no traffic, no nothing. It's so lovely. It's so amazing to have a city that's so walkable like Singapore is. And the public transit here, guys, like the public transit is spectacular. Like not only is it, clean, fast, and extensive, but it's actually more budget friendly than Canada in general. Like taking the subway in Toronto costs about, I think it's $3.50 now, or at least it was $3.50 when I was living there, one way to go anywhere. But here in Singapore, it depends on the distance that you're going. And most of my trips have been $1.50, even though I feel like they've been at least, 5 stations or something. So it's really lovely that you can just walk or take public transit for cheap. I really love when cities have those kinds of social things taken care of. Oh wow, we got some super chats here from Silvio. Thank you so much. Thank you for these super chats. Hi Alina, here I am walking around with you in Singapore to Ciao from Rio, Brazil. Amazing. Thank you so much, Silvio. Much appreciated, and hope you're having a fabulous day. Lovely. Oh, and we got another super chat from David McCann. Thank you so much, David. Much appreciated. Hope you are doing well as well, and thank you for coming out to see Singapore with us here. Yeah, Jesse says, hi Alina, for cheaper food options, do visit our local food court known as hawker centers. You can have a taste of every type of cuisine in one place. Yes, that is a very good tip, Jesse, and technically my favorite hawker place so far has been the Maxwell Center in Chinatown. There are some fantastic options there, and like the fresh juice stands are actually my favorite. You can get whatever kind of fresh, delicious juice you want for like $4 or less. And for reference, the Singaporean dollar, the currency that they have here, is more or less on par with the Canadian dollar. So maybe about, 30% less than the dollar amount for the US dollar for reference. But for me, it's easy because I'm just like, oh, like 4 Singaporean dollars is 4 Canadian dollars. So it makes that easy. But yeah, the hawker centers are definitely the way to go to save, money if you're coming to Singapore and are on a budget. Oh my goodness, I think this is my good friend Nak. I think it's Nak, maybe it's a different Nak, but if it's the Nak who's my friend, who I met in real life, oh yes it is, okay, good. We are super glad that you enjoy Singapore. How would you compare these two cities, Bangkok versus Singapore, Jackie? Oh, I don't know if I should choose. So I have my two good friends. They live in Bangkok now, and so Nak is Thai and Jackie is from Singapore. So I'm hesitant to choose favorites here. Both cities are amazing. Like you guys know that before this, I would easily say, let me just move out to the side here. They're doing some work. I would easily say that Bangkok is my favorite city in Southeast Asia, like 100%. I love Bangkok. But now, having gone to Singapore, this city totally took me by surprise. I'll be honest and say I didn't expect to like it this much. I thought, it'll be a beautiful, modern, clean city, but I doubt that I'll like it that much considering it's so expensive, because I like cost per dollar, cost per experience. But no, like I said, this is one of the few places that I'm like, oh no, like they actually have put so much work into the city. It's so beautiful, it's so safe, it's so clean that I don't mind paying the higher price tag. So I would say that yes, Singapore is just a place where you can really go and feel just at ease. Everything's taken care of, everything's as it should be. It's literally the perfect city in a way. It's like a little utopian kind of thing. But Bangkok I think is still in a way the place that I could see myself coming back to all the time, just because it has this sort of like fun energy about it. It's a bit more lively, I would say, than Singapore. Like in Singapore, it's a bit calmer, you could say. Bangkok, it can get a little bit crazy. It's just a little bit more chaotic, I guess, and not in a bad way, but it's just more chaotic, and I like it. I really like Bangkok, and obviously Bangkok is a much more extensive, bigger city than Singapore. So yeah, Bangkok is the one that I would obviously spend a lot more time in because it's more budget friendly. I really love the food in Bangkok too, because see, here in Singapore, sure, you can find some budget options, but if you're limited by budget, you can't really try everything. In Bangkok, it's much more accessible, so I can have a lot more fun in Bangkok. I can rent a beautiful apartment and, go to most restaurants and not have to worry so much about the price. So I think at the end of the day, it depends on what kind of income bracket you're working with. But both cities are worth visiting. I have loved my time in both of them, and yeah, both of you guys come from amazing places, that's what I will say. So thank you to Nag and Jackie for coming out. You guys are lovely. Oh, as always, Jim Ross, thank you very much for the generous super chat. Hope you have escaped monsoon rains. It is the only place I've never had rain bounce up to my knees anywhere else. I hope you got up on the Marina Bay Sands Sky Park observation deck. Great views. The restaurants and bars around the quays are varied. Street foods are great. Thank you very much, Jim. But what do you mean? The Marina Bay Sands Sky Park observation deck? You mean at the very top of Marina Bay Sands, or do you mean the Garden Sky Park walk? I assume there's one in Marina Bay. I actually don't know that one, the Sky Park observation deck. I will look that up. Thank you for the suggestion. I thought that you had to be staying at Marina Bay to really be able to use like their roof, which I know that they have that famous pool up there. I didn't know they had an observation deck, so I will check that out. Thank you very much, Jim Ross, for the very good suggestion. Harriet, Jim, and Yuki, thank you so much. We always had a great time in Singapore, a city so clean and with a great transit system and super restaurants. Thank you so much, guys. Yeah, it really is. Like I said, there's not many cities nowadays that I've been to that I get extremely impressed by. Like, most are nice, you know, they're great, but they don't really impress me. You know, like Tokyo, you guys know, is my favorite city of all time, and I think it still is. I'll have to go back obviously this trip, because in a way it is kind of between Tokyo and Singapore that I would say are the most like advanced ideal cities. Like I said, I love Bangkok, but obviously, you know, it doesn't have the same sort of amenities and, you know, isn't as clean as Singapore is. I think it's kind of between Tokyo and Singapore of like the most advanced, you know, perfect city. So I'll have to see what Tokyo is like now, because I haven't been there in a very long time. But thank you guys so much. Rahul Rasam, oh my goodness, thank you so much. That is so generous, always, for coming out and supporting. Thank you so much, Rahul. I hope you're doing great. Thank you for this fantastic live stream. Singapore is my favorite city in Southeast Asia, and I'm basically reliving my time I spent there through this and Instagram stories, which I thoroughly enjoyed. Any plans to visit Sentosa? Thank you so much, Rahul. And I actually didn't know that you spent a lot of time here. That's wonderful. It is just such a great place. Yeah, Sentosa Island, right? I think probably not this trip, to be honest, because I only have tomorrow. Yeah, I only have tomorrow as a full day left, and it's supposed to rain all day. So I know that in Sentosa they have the beaches, and it's more of like an amusement area, if I remember correctly. So probably it's not going to happen this trip, but just gives me another thing to do the next time I come here. Tomorrow I think it's going to be like all indoor activities. There's like a museum I really wanted to check out, and I do want to do some shopping here, so I will be doing that tomorrow. But Sentosa is definitely a beautiful area from what I've heard, and yeah, next time I come here, like 100% I will do that. So thank you so much, Rahul, as always. Hope you're doing great. Oh, did I see that my friend Lane Slowski has come out? Thank you so much to all of my favorite people for coming out today. Thank you. Been seeing a lot of content about Japan on Instagram, and I'm excited to see your perspective. Yes, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I'm heading to Osaka first on, when am I going? Wednesday, yeah, on Wednesday. My flight's like super early morning. I've never been to Osaka, so it's going to be really interesting to see, you know, how it kind of compares to Tokyo. And I'll be traveling around Japan in general, like for the first month I'm there. So got a lot of places that I want to see. Amazing. You guys are so kind, like honestly, thank you so much to everyone for coming out, for supporting. Like, it means so much to me to have this kind of amazing community, and it's also really cool that, you know, it's people from like all over. Like, that's the best part, is that usually if I, you know, put in my community section, oh, I'm going to this place, you know, somebody will be from there and have some really great suggestions. So, you know, it's just so lovely to have you all here. All right, guys, I gotta keep on moving here. Let me flip the camera. And the one thing I didn't show you yet was just at the end of this lovely, colorful street, right? And when we pan over here is the Sultan Mosque. This is kind of like the main landmark of this area, because as I was saying, this was a very important area for Muslims, I guess. In the, yeah, this one was constructed in the late 1920s, but before then this area was also kind of the, sorry guys, I'm just reading all of this. Yeah, basically, you know, this area has a very long history with the Muslim community, and this mosque has been rebuilt from the original one because the original, I guess, wasn't quite big enough to house the whole community. Now, obviously, there's plenty of other mosques all around the city, but this one is just a very prominent one. So, very beautiful. All right, so that is the end of this street in Campong Glam, and we are going to move to, I believe this is Arab Street that we are going to be walking down. There's 3 major streets that I wanted to take you on in Campong Glam before we make our way to the obvious most popular area of the city, which is the Marina Bay area. Of course, I have to show you guys that on the live stream. But like I said, this area is in a way my favorite as an area to stay, because it is just so colorful and walkable. The accommodation here is fairly budget friendly. Obviously, I don't want to give the exact place that I am staying in just for safety reasons. I will after I finish my time here, but I am staying in a hostel, and it's been a while since I stayed in a hostel. I was actually expecting the worst because I've had like some horrendous hostel experiences that has really put me off it. But here, I really didn't have a choice. I'm not willing to pay $300-400 a night, for a very basic hotel. So the place that I'm staying in, I actually got a crazy good price. It's about $40 a night. And most hostels are actually quite a bit more. It's like at least 50 or 60 a night. So that's a deal. So that's a deal here in Singapore. And thankfully so far in my room, in my hostel, it's actually kind of older people, which makes it so much better. And there's no lounge area, for people to sit around and be loud. So it's actually been quite quiet. So you know what? No complaints. No complaints. It's been fine. Of course, I'd never want to do hostels long term again, but for a week, I can do it. It's fine. Want to say a big thank you to Daryl for the very kind super chat. Thank you so much, Daryl. Thank you for coming out and for supporting. Much appreciated. Says, strange that my donation levels are preset by YouTube. That is strange. What do you mean? It only gives like certain amounts you can give? I thought that you're able to put whatever amount you want. That is strange. In everybody's way. But thank you so much, Daryl. Hope you're doing good and hope the weather's really nice on the West Coast. Oh my god. Hank says, yes, someone stole my thongs whilst I was showering in a hostel in Bencoolen Street. Okay, you must be British, right? Because thongs for British people are, what do you call them? Flip-flops. But thongs to me is underwear. So that is really random. Who would steal somebody's underwear? Okay, that sucks. I'm sorry somebody stole your flip-flops, but for a minute I thought you said somebody stole your underwear. Two very different things. Oh, Alina, same name twins, says, hi Alina, do get yourself a nice tan. It's dreadful right now here in Europe. Thank you so much, Alina. Yeah, I feel like I do have like a little bit of a tan, but I have been much more religious about sunscreen lately because I've had so many burns over the past couple of years. Like, it's not good. That was, not me even trying to tan. That's me just not being, religious enough about sunscreen, where I'd have like all these terrible tan lines. So I'm actually much more adamant about making sure I protect my skin because it gets hot. Like, it gets so hot here. All right, friends. Yeah, so this is another lovely corner. And this is actually the cafe that I've been going to every morning for my morning coffee because it is delicious, but it's like 7-8 Singaporean dollars. So, like 5-6 US for like a little latte, 7 for the larger latte. And if I was here for a month, that would get very expensive. But I've kind of just accepted that, you know, I'm here for a week. Of course, I don't want to, you know, spend a crazy amount of money. But if I spend, you know, a few $100 more than I would in other destinations, like, it's not a big, you know, deal. I usually am very, you know, what's the word? Budget conscious, you know, in some of my other destinations. So I'm just like, you know what, I can spend a few $100 more here and just like really enjoy myself. So it's not a big deal. Oh, thank you once again to Jim Ross for the very kind super chat. Alina, you get a mini gold bar from a vending, for a mini gold bar from a vending machine at the Raffles Hotel. I couldn't get one because it was sold out. Long bar is where the Singapore sling supposedly was developed. Skydeck is on the 56th floor of the hotel, has entry fee. Okay, I will have to look up that Skydeck, but you did bring up, yes, a very good suggestion, Ed, that I'm actually planning to do tomorrow, is try the original Singapore sling at Long Bar. I did hear about that. I don't think I've ever had a Singapore sling in my life. I don't even know what's in it. So I will actually do that suggestion, but I'll look at the observation deck. The only thing that sucks about the observation deck is, as I said, tomorrow it's going to be raining most likely all day, and then today I have some other stuff I have to do, so I don't know if I'll sadly get around to going to Marina Bay Sands observation deck on this trip, but another trip, 100%, I'm going to keep that in mind. So thank you very much. All right, so we are at the end of another block. There's a cute little cafe called FICA, you know, the Swedish kind of word for tea and biscuits usually, I think, but they're a restaurant that has other things. And we are going to make our way this way. Oh, that's actually not bad. I should come back here. Rice and chicken and veggies for about 12 Singaporean dollars. That's like about 10 US. That's not bad, because some of the other like Turkish restaurants, like on that main street where we started, their mains are like $20-30 and they don't look like anything special, to be honest. So that's not bad. I might have to try that. Usually, yeah, if you go off of the main streets is where you will find more budget-friendly places. If you're on the main tourist streets, you can expect that it's, you know, they're gonna soak you basically. So this is probably a lot of people's favorite street in the area. You can already see the Instagramming all starting up, because how cool is all of the murals that they have in this area. Oh, we got such a lovely day today, guys, too. Look at that lovely sunshine. Got a perfect day for exploring. Yeah, so if I recall correctly, this is Hajj Street, and it's just this really cool area with yeah, all these murals, lots of restaurants, cute shops. And another thing that I've actually noticed in Singapore, you know, I just thought of this now. Yes, there are some chains here, like especially if you go to the mall or something, but there's just so many independent restaurants and shops here that you don't always see that much in major cities. So for that, I really applaud Singapore, is that it seems like they have a lot of local businesses, which is wonderful to see. Just read in your comments here, guys. Let me just stop here. I'm gonna read your comments. X990 says try toast box, local style kopi and breakfast. Oh yeah, I saw somebody else's, forget who the creators were, but on YouTube I saw somebody else went to Toast Box and they liked it. Yeah, that is a good suggestion. Awesome. Thank you so much, Brenda. I hope you have a great time in Southeast Asia. Oh, yeah, somebody who made this, JLCGU11 says, "Hi, Alina. For those who are tight on a budget, staying at Johor Bahru across the causeway in Malaysia and taking bus trips to Singapore is a good option." Yeah, actually, for anybody who, like, let's say you absolutely don't want to stay in a hotel, but you also absolutely don't want to you know, pay the crazy prices here in Singapore, it is technically, I guess, an option for you to stay right across the border, you know, like in Malaysia, and then you just quickly take a bus or drive over to Singapore. I don't know if you could do that on a daily basis. Maybe somebody can give more information in the comments, but it is just crazy because when I was looking on Airbnb, you know, for apartments, there's next to nothing. There is nothing on Airbnb for, I guess I was looking for more long-term apartments here in Singapore, and then even just the ones they did have were like extremely expensive. And then options started coming up that were incredibly budget friendly, and I was like, no, this can't be Singapore, right? And yeah, it was just across the border, like just across the border in Malaysia. You get amazing places for like a fifth of the price. So once again, I don't know if you could go in and out every day. I don't know if they'd flag you for that kind of thing, but if you could, that would be ideal. And if you had like cheap transit that could help you make that possible, I think that would be a fantastic way to go about it. Just want to showcase all the really cool buildings here. It is just so colorful. Really love it. The people are Instagramming like crazy. We'll go down that street in just a second here, but I wanted to show you guys this bar. I love the mural that they have here. Like, that must take so much time, right? Sorry, I'm just gonna... Yeah, I think this place is called Blue Jazz. Gets quite popular at night. And there's actually another street down here that has some pretty good shops too. They're less expensive on this street, so keep in mind, like, if you want some food, it's actually cheaper on this street than it is on the main one. But I really love all the art here. So cool. Aw, thank you so much to Carolyn. Hi, Alina. I'm your avid fan from the Philippines, currently traveling as well. Just came from Armenia. Amazing, good choice. Currently in UAE, and it's 6 a.m. Have to set my alarm to join you. That's so kind. Thank you so much, Carolyn, and hope you have wonderful travels. UAE is another area I gotta check out sometime. Huh. Okay, so with the whole going back in between the borders, Hang says, yes, even Singaporeans do it. Yes, you can do it as well. During the Junior Hub Coffee World, I was commuting daily across the causeway. Yeah, I guess, like, I mean, if you don't need a visa for Singapore, right? Because if you needed a visa for Singapore, it would have to be multiple entry for you to be able to do that. But if you're like visa upon arrival, as Canadians are, it probably would be fine. The only issue that I just thought of is that, like, before I went to Singapore, I had to do kind of this online questionnaire, and you get some kind of like arrival card that you have to do. I don't know if that was always something you had to do or something that came up during COVID. So that actually might get in the way, because you have to submit that before every trip into Singapore. Anybody, even like who has visa upon arrival, has to do it. So don't take my word for it. I don't know if you can commute day in and day out. Overall, I would say just budget extra money if you're thinking of coming here. You know, don't come here and you're on a very strict budget. It's almost for sure that you're gonna go over. So just make sure, you know, you budget enough money and really plan out, you know, where you're going to be, so you have like hawker places in the vicinity of where you're going to stay. That's one thing about this area. I wouldn't say there's any hawker centers like right near, but overall, like, the restaurants here aren't too badly priced. So it's not hawker price, but some of the other places aren't too badly priced. All right. So, what in the world? One sec, guys. I'm just trying to figure out something. Okay. All right, let's keep on moving here. So many cool shops here. Oh, another super chat from Jim Ross. Thank you so much, Jim. You're finally in a place I visited. They can make suggestions. Had a friend who lived there and they took me to things I shouldn't miss. Fashion and stylish city. Singapore is a city-state that became independent against their will. Yes. It's interesting because, yeah, Singapore was a part of Malaysia until 1965, I believe was the year. But it is kind of similar, I guess, to like Monaco and the Vatican, where it is a large, you know, like city, but it's technically also a country. And what I didn't know before coming here is that it's actually not just one big island as it kind of looks like on the map. It's actually 63 or 64 separate islands. But of course, like, there's the mainland and then there's all these little islands in the vicinity of the main island. And so with those kinds of places, they usually just have like a resort on it, or beaches, or it's a nature park. Some are like, I think, kind of more or less privately owned. So I didn't know that there was like a whole bunch of islands that were actually in the area as well. So thank you so much, Jim. It is such an amazing place to come to. And really, like, if you're coming to especially like Malaysia, you can't not come here. Like, you're all the way out to Malaysia. It's either like a 4 or 5 hour drive / bus ride, or with me, like, I just flew and it's like an hour, and my flight, if I didn't have luggage, would have been $20. Would have been $20 with Air Asia, but with luggage, I think it was like 40, 50, which is still reasonable for actually an hour-long flight. In Canada, they'd soak you like 200 for that. Oh, good to know, Jesse. Very good suggestion. See, I didn't think there was a hawker area anywhere right close, but Jesse, who's a local, says there's one called Albert Court Hawker Center behind Bugis Street. Okay. Amazing. I'll have to check that out, because I tried to search on the map hawker centers in this area and nothing really came up, so I'm gonna have to keep that one in mind. Huh. Interesting. Oh, it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. Thoughtful of people. Yes. All right, guys. So it is busy here this morning. It is Sunday morning. I know for some of you it is still Saturday night, but it is Sunday morning here in Singapore. So people are out and about. I know I sounded so Canadian in saying that. All right. Yeah, so I love this street. It's even more lively, you know, at night. So if you come here at night, it's also really lovely. The halal corner. Lovely. Rod asking, do Canadians need a visa to enter Malaysia? No, you don't. You get 90 days upon arrival, and we didn't even have to fill out any kind of, like form or whatever, because as I said, to enter here in Singapore, you have to do an arrival card, which isn't a big deal. Like, that one only took me maybe 15 minutes, and it was just like super basic. You don't have to be vaccinated now to come to Singapore. you used to, but I guess they got rid of that rule about 3 weeks ago, so that's another thing to know. But for Japan, I already posted this on my Instagram the other day. If you're thinking of coming to Japan, there's a lot of things that you got to do ahead of time. First of all, either be triple vaccinated or have a PCR test, but they have very specific rules about the PCR test, like the certain labs that it has to be from, the information that has to be on the certificate, and then you also have to fill out a whole extensive thing called their fast track. It took me like 30 or 40 minutes yesterday to do. Thankfully, I think everything got approved and I'm all good to go, but Japan still has pretty, intense requirements to get in. So keep that in mind if you were thinking of going there. All right, guys, so we are leaving Campong Glam. Got a bit of construction going on here. And we are gonna head down this street here, North Bridge Road, because that's actually a pretty nice walking street, making our way to the marina. Oh, fun facts for anybody who's on my Instagram. This was the corner where I fell. I came around this corner, I hit this thing, I wasn't expecting to see it there, and I face planted on the asphalt. Somehow did not hurt myself that bad, because it was a pretty bad fall. But angels watching over me made it out without too much blood. So yeah, fun facts, the memories. Lovely. Another really cool thing that I'm not going to be able to get to do this trip, but 100% going on my list the next time I come. This building, absolutely beautiful. I don't know what the hell is up on all the other floors, but on the bottom floor, from my understanding, is an incredible bar. It's supposed to be one of the best bars in the world. It's called Atlas. Oh, I think somebody commented about it. Yes, Jesse. Yeah, so Atlas is supposed to be one of the best bars in the world, and they also have a really nice afternoon tea. The interior is absolutely stunning, and technically, for the prices that you expect at nicer places in Singapore, I wouldn't say it's outrageously priced if you're getting just, I don't know, one of their regular drinks, not one of their fancy drinks, or like the afternoon tea. It's actually not a bad price. So I was actually planning on coming here, but they're closed on Mondays, or on Sundays and Mondays. I was planning on coming here actually today, but they're closed. And then Monday, tomorrow, my only other day, they're closed. So yeah, unfortunately, I left it too long and I'm not going to be able to go here this time around. But if you get the chance, come to Atlas. It is supposed to be incredible. My friend who actually owns a bar in Tokyo, who you guys will meet once I get to Tokyo, she was saying how their gin, and especially their gin cocktails, are world renowned, some of the best in the world. So thought I would point this place out. Oh, John says, I've been to Atlas Bar. She is right. Yeah, it's supposed to be amazing. This is the kind of, place where, yeah, you expect you're going to spend a bit more money, but it's an experience, a very special experience. And I've only heard good things about it. So definitely check that out. My mom says, "Ты оставила свою кровь на улицах Singapore." That's a pretty random thing to look at it that way, Mom. My mom says about me falling down, she's like, "Oh, you left your blood on the streets of Singapore." First of all, random comment. Second of all, no, I actually didn't. I thankfully didn't bleed that much. I hit my palm, my elbow, and my hip really bad. But yeah, I thankfully didn't scrape it enough that there was blood everywhere. It was just super bruised, and I got I don't even know, just big red marks, but not blood. So I consider myself lucky. So no, I did not paint the streets of Singapore with my blood, thankfully. Yes, I will definitely visit Atlas in the future. Absolutely. All right, so we are going to cross the street here, even though we're gonna have to come back this way anyway, just because for like a block, it's all construction. That's just changed. Okay, we'll cross here and then cross there. Just because, yeah, there's all kinds of construction there, so we're just gonna walk on that side, even though eventually we're gonna have to move back. Bud Anderson, thank you so much for the super chat. Very kind of you. Hope you're doing great. So something I saw here. Kurt says the Philippines still has the arrival card. When I went in November, I had to have 3 vaccinations, but when I went back in February, only, I assume you mean 2 were required. I actually don't remember now what I had to do for the Philippines. Yeah, they did check. They did, yeah. I think even when I went, they wanted 3. I can't remember now. Yeah, Indonesia too, you had to have 3 to not have to do a PCR test for taking like a train or a plane ride and stuff. So, you know, we're not going to get into the vaccine debate of being forced to do this kind of stuff, but I am glad, I will say, that I got my 3rd vaccination when I was in Canada, because if I hadn't and came to Southeast Asia, I would have had issues in at least 2 or 3 of the countries that, well, yeah, at least 3 countries that I visited. So in a way, even though Southeast Asia is definitely opening up, it's way more lax than it was, you know, even 6 months ago. It still, in some countries, has quite a bit of rules. So if you're thinking of coming to this area in the world, you really need to look ahead of time what the rules are, and also know that they are subject to change. Because like in Thailand, for example, they tried to bring back vaccinations, and people, like, I guess, got so mad that they changed it back 2 days after they tried to, like, legislate bringing back the, you know, vaccine certificates. So, you know, not every place might do that, and, you know, then you're caught in a pinch. So just, you know, make sure you're doing your research before you plan a big trip here if you're not vaccinated. Oh, Bud says, was in Singapore in 1969. R&R from Vietnam. Went south and crossed the equator, not far away from you. Very cool. I'm sure things looked quite different then. Oh no! Yeah, see those damn blocks. Yeah. Here are pictures of the city and showing Park and Marina Bay Sands and Merlion brought back memories. The Singapore Sling is also a gin-based fruit drink. It's like being in Calgary, same basic costs. Thanks so much, Jim. What do you mean it's like being back in Calgary, same basic costs? No way. Prices in Singapore are like insanely more. There's only a few things that I would say, you know, are maybe like slightly similar prices to Canada, but I would say on a whole, the prices here are at least 30% more expensive than Canada. At first I did think it was maybe a bit more equal, but the longer I stay here, I'm like, no, you could, you know, get much lower prices in Canada. The only things that I think they have here that are actually, yeah, budget friendly that Canada doesn't have as much is the hawker centers. Like the hawker centers, yeah, are definitely the way to go for like good budget food. And in Canada, you can't find a meal nowadays for $6. Absolutely not. Like, good luck finding a meal in Canada for that little. So that's the one thing that I'll say that they do have here that is more budget friendly. But well, actually, okay, no, maybe I'm gonna eat my own words. The public transit is also less, as I said. So those two things are less than in Canada. But accommodation is insanely more. I think whether you were, coming for a short time or a longer time, to have a car here is ridiculously expensive. I guess you have to pay a certain tax just for the privilege of being able to like have your own car here. Groceries are substantially more here. Restaurants are also substantially more. And just, yeah, your everyday things in my mind are substantially more. I assume that's what you meant, Jim. I don't know. But I'd be loving Calgary prices right now if that was the case. Let's see. Yeah, the plans here, when I got here, I was actually a bit ticked because the plan that I got at the airport, like, yeah, it's good for, I guess, I thought it was 12 days initially, but it is actually 30 days for $32 Singaporean dollars, so, Canadian dollars, whatever. And I get basically 100 gigabytes, not at the fastest speeds, but pretty good speeds. Like, obviously I'm able to live stream here and everything seems fine. So in a way, like, that's a fine deal, but I'm only staying a week, right? So I was kind of wishing they would have had a week-long plan for less, but for a month that is actually reasonable, and they have even bigger plans for about $50. So that's still half of the price of Canada. So frick, I might have to eat my words. Maybe there are actually quite a few things that are less here in Singapore that are just stupidly priced in Canada, like cell phone plans. But on a whole, you can't come to vacation in Singapore and I think spend less money for the same kinds of experiences and accommodation as you would in Canada. Like, you really can't get a nice hotel room in a central area for less than at least $200. I did see one pretty shady looking room, for about $110, $120, but it was in a really, not a far out area basically, and the room was just very shabby. So I'm like, I'd rather be central and stay in a hostel than commute every day to the center. Why did I cross the street? Okay, I don't know. I didn't plan on crossing the street yet, but it's actually fine, guys. What I wanted to show you at this corner is actually the National Library. How amazing is that building? I actually haven't gone inside of it yet. A friend just sent me a picture of when he was there and said I should go check it out. So I did put it on my Google Maps as a place to go, but I have not gone inside yet. So another cool place that I think is open to the public for free. Daryl, another senior moment at 32. Which one? I think I have quite a few. David says, what I noticed, not a lot of horn honking there, seems pretty chill. Yeah, to be honest, I don't think I've really heard horn honking here as well. And same with, at least in Kuala Lumpur, there wasn't really any honking either. I don't know if it's like that in the rest of Malaysia, but no. Yeah, I can't say it was like that there. In Vietnam, it's like constant, but they're kind of doing it to let people know, they're behind you or whatever kind of thing. And it's not too loud of honking. It's like a little honk. But yeah, here in Singapore, it's actually quite quiet with the traffic. Bud asks, we used to ride around in rickshaw bikes. Do they still have those? No, I don't think they have those here anymore, or at least I haven't seen them. No, I can't say I've seen the rickshaw bikes here at all while I've been here. Let's see here. Just reading your comments here, guys. Nana on the run says, I'm in Calgary and was in Singapore not long ago, and Singapore is way more expensive. Yeah, unfortunately. Unfortunately it is. I think, you know, if you were to live here, like, you would really have to be like a multi-millionaire. Like, I know you could, you know, make it on just 6 figures. Like, if you made $200,000 a year, like, yeah, you could live here, but you would probably have to budget like crazy. And isn't that wild to think that if you're making a $200,000 yearly salary, that's really not a lot of money here. So if you're planning on spending a lot of time here and don't have some kind of special setup, especially with your accommodation, because that's what's going to cost the most money, like you really would have to just budget like crazy. So this is Raffles, guys. This is the famous Raffles Hotel. And on this side of the street, it's more like shops and restaurants that they have here. They have these beautiful, we got palm trees. I don't think that's a banana tree. I still don't know what all the plants are, guys. I'm not a horticulturalist, but they're beautiful. Harriet, Jim, and Yuki ask, thank you for the super chat, first of all. Have you been to the Botanic Gardens and the Gardens by the Bay? Yes, guys. Oh my gosh. The Botanical Gardens I went to the first full day I was here. Incredible. Incredible. I mean, the Botanical Gardens in Kuala Lumpur were also very nice. I would actually say they're comparable. But yeah, those gardens are stunning. That will be in like my main YouTube video. And then yes, Gardens by the Bay. I did twice now, actually. I went that first main day, and then I went last night because I had tickets for the Skywalk, but I sadly didn't time it so that I was up there when the light show was on. But alas, it was still lovely. So yeah, I did do both of those things. So thank you guys so much. Hope you are doing great. Just want to give you one more look at just this beautiful parkway and the balconies that they have here at the hotel. It's very nice. Oh yeah, my mom makes a good comment. In Russian she says, "Удивляюсь чистой улиц. Кто их убирает? Ты видела?" So my mom's saying, I'm amazed by how clean the streets are. Do you know who cleans them? Well, no, I can't say like I've actually seen a crazy amount of street cleaners. I have seen some, but I actually wouldn't say it's rampant. But you know why they're clean? Because the people keep it clean. You know, I think just the way they've conditioned society here is people just don't litter. Because I think there are still very intense laws about littering. If I remember correctly, I think I saw something online, not that you can always trust what's online, but there's like a $300, you know, fee, or a fine, I should say. There's a fine for littering, plus community service, where you become the cleaner and clean the streets if you're caught littering. So yeah, there's the garbage, you know, disposal. Use it, right? And then that's how the streets stay clean. I would assume they have cleaners that they hire, you know, by the local government, but I think it is just the way the local people are here. They don't throw their crap out where it shouldn't be, which is super admirable, because I find that super gross too, like when a city just has like trash all over the streets, and you know, people have their cigarette butts and whatnot. Like it's just so unpleasant. And it's everybody's job, you know, it's everybody's job to not be a frickin' pig in the cities that they live in and visit. Like, we can all be better. So let's learn from Singapore with that. Yeah, Jesse says you can get fined for littering. Exactly. I'd be fine if, places had that kind of rule, because they're, as long as they have trash cans everywhere. Because the one thing I'll say about Japan that I don't understand, Japan is so clean, but yet it's so limited of where the damn trash cans are. So you have to end up carrying your trash around for such a long time until you can find a trash can. So I would say that Japan needs more trash cans, but it's still ridiculously clean. Jesse says that's why Singapore banned chewing gums too, to keep the city clean. Yeah, I mean, that's a bit intense, obviously. I think they're probably the only country with that kind of rule. But to be honest, as somebody who doesn't really care about chewing gum that much, I mean, fine, whatever. But yeah, I think they're quite unique in that decision. The one other thing that I saw that they banned that I don't think I've seen any other country banned is vaping. That I saw an ad on at the subway or whatever. It was saying that, yeah, vaping is banned, that it's really bad for your health. And yeah, I guess if that was something that you wanted to do, you couldn't do it here in Singapore. But at the same time, I'm kind of confused because, you know, smoking, not saying that at all vaping is okay. I think it does still like hurt your health, but why don't they ban, well, I guess, I don't know, can they ban smoking? I don't know, but it's just weird that they would outright ban vaping, but you're still allowed to smoke, or at least I think you can. So I found that a bit odd. Oh, I forgot about that. Kurt says, I'll check in a little bit later. We are going to watch the opening of Telemiracle. Oh my God, that takes me back to my childhood. For anybody who doesn't know, Telemiracle is like a fundraising event that happens in Saskatchewan every year. And I haven't heard anybody mention Telemiracle in years and years. But we used to fundraise for Telemiracle when I was in elementary school, so that just brought me back memories. So thank you for that. Have fun. Thank you very much, Jonathan, for the welcome to Singapore. Okay, Jesse says the tax on cigarettes is extremely high here. On average, a pack of cigarettes will cost you around $11 US. Yeah. Well, to be honest, $11 US for a pack of cigarettes, I think that's actually the same price as it is more or less in Canada. Not that obviously I smoke, but I think that's the price that I saw on cigarettes, because Canada did the same thing to kind of like deter smoking, is, you know, put a crazy high tax on it. Not that maybe they care that much about people's health, but more lining their own pockets. But, you know, whatever. I don't really care. Yeah, it's crazy because, you know, you go to Eastern Europe, you get a pack of cigarettes for like $2. They don't care about people's health, and they're not going to get away with taxing people that crazy amount. They would be thrown out of office if they tried that in Eastern Europe. But in Canada, you know, most people, I would say, don't smoke, so it's not that big of a deal. All right, so this is the corner that we are going to turn on, but just want to show you guys is the Capital Kempinski Hotel, famous hotel. And over here we have Raffles City. I believe that's a mall. Yeah, that's a mall. There's like not just Raffles Hotel or Raffles Mall. There's also Raffles Hospital. So I guess it's a whole name brand now. Let's see here. I'm just reading your comments, guys. Jesus, I spent $18.75 on a 25 pack. Wait, a 25 pack, does that mean 25 packs of cigarettes, or you mean there's only 25 cigarettes? I don't know. If it's the latter, that's a lot. Oh yeah, in Canada. Oh yeah, so it's, oh my God, $18.75 for a pack? Yeah, you gotta really love smoking to be spending that kind of money. I think if if I smoked, that would 100% deter me. Because like the people who smoke a pack a day, right? $20, let's just even it out to $20 a day for 30 days in a month. Like that's a substantial investment to be making. That's a lot. So if I was a smoker, I guess that kind of strategy would work on me to quit. But you know, some people love it, and you know, it's their life, it's their choice. I'm not here to tell people what to do, but it is crazy what a price difference it can be in different parts of the world. All right, so I walked this area yesterday trying to find an above ground way to get over to Marina Bay, and I could not find one. But I'm hoping that my signal will stay strong even as I go to the underpass. I'm just gonna jaywalk, I think. Or wait, what's this guy doing? Okay, fuck sakes, I'm going. People jaywalk here. I don't think that's against the law. I've seen locals do it, so even though those ladies aren't going to, I'm not gonna stand there while there's no traffic coming. Ain't got time for that. Alright, green light. Don't know if you can kind of see out there that building with the green rooftop. If I'm not mistaken, that's the National Gallery. So if you really like art, I mean, there's actually so many museums with beautiful art in Singapore, but that one's supposed to be amazing. And behind this building, there's like big sports fields, like big playing fields. But we are going to the Esplanade Theaters on the Bay. That is where we are going. And yeah, like I said, I have to go through an underpass to get there. I hope my signal will stay strong, but if for some reason, you know, it goes out, don't worry. I'll be back in like 1 minute. Just the stream pauses while I'm out of commission, and then I'll be back. So don't worry if that's the case. You can kind of see the corner of the theaters on the bay coming into view. And I popped in there yesterday and was so impressed, especially the more I read about it. Like basically what they are performing arts centers. So everything from like musical to dance to, I assume maybe they have acting performances too, like all the arts performances happen in that area, and it's a not-for-profit center where they say about 70% of the shows that they have there are free. How amazing is that? Like, that's just an incredible way to give back to the community. So even though, as we've established, Singapore is incredibly expensive, but there are just so many wonderful social services that they do prioritize here, that I think if you lived here, like, you would have such a good quality of life. And I assume, you know, there are schools and universities, and the healthcare here is really good. I'm actually not sure how the healthcare here works. You know, maybe comment down below if you are a local, because I don't personally know. Okay guys, I gotta go here, so let's hope that the signal stays. But what is happening here? Everybody's having a picnic. There were not this many people here yesterday. That's cute. I love it. This is almost like Japan Hanami. They don't have cherry blossoms, but they have these beautiful trees. Love it. Beautiful day for a picnic. All right. Let's hope the signal stays. And yeah, Josh says no theft either. You can leave your laptop at Starbucks, open, plugged in, whatever, leave, and it'll be there when you come back. Try it. Yeah, that's honestly just such a wonderful thing to me. I don't even know, maybe it is even safer than Japan, but you know, Japan is incredibly safe as well. And I found that to be the case in all the years that I have been there. And that means so much. I would love to live in a country where, you know, you don't have to worry about that kind of stuff, more or less. It's almost like a freak accident, you know, if you have something stolen, and you can walk at all hours of the night, you know, especially as a woman. Let me go this way. What in the picnic is happening today? Is there like some kind of picnic holiday today? Can somebody please explain? And it's all kind of like younger people. What is happening? I kind of love it. Okay, I think this is the exit I need, right? I'm going to, yeah, the Esplanade Theaters on the Bay. Oh, and my signal stayed. Look at that. Still have signal here. Well, actually, I should have assumed I would have a signal, because here on the metro stations, you know, quite a deeper than this, you have a signal in the metro as well. Love it. Oh, okay, interesting. 2 people commented that these are Filipina maids working in Singapore, and so they're having lunch. Like, I mean, cool. I love it. I'd picnic for lunch too. It's just kind of random that it was in the metro area. Okay, so Sunday's like their main day off. Well, that's kind of sad that they only have 1 day off. Everybody deserves at least 2 days off. But I hope that they get to enjoy their day off. Huh. Okay, interesting. Yeah, I don't know how to feel about domestic help. Obviously, it's absolutely fine, and it's like any other job if they are fairly compensated. But of course, I have heard a lot of stories that, you know, even in like very rich places, like, I mean, I don't know, but Dubai is one that I heard that some like workers get paid so little for the expensive prices that it costs to live in Dubai that they're, you know, really not living in great, you know, conditions or whatever. And the amount of money that they get, they are able to send just like a little bit back home and have to live on a crazy budget otherwise. So that to me is wrong. Like, they should be paid, you know, a living wage for the country that they're currently in. So I think that's wrong to have domestic workers for a very low price because, you know, they're desperate to get out of their countries and send any kind of money home, but then they have to basically live in squalor. So obviously not judging that, I don't know what those people's conditions were. I just hope that they have, you know, a good quality of life and make a good amount of money. All right, guys. So, oh, my friend Henry is here. Thank you for coming out, Henry. Hope you are doing fabulous. This is on my bucket list. Yes, you absolutely need to come here. It is such a phenomenal city. You would love it. I'll actually be messaging you in the next couple of weeks, Henry, so we'll chat with you soon. It looks like a durian building. Yes, it actually does, actually, now that you say it. Very cool. Yeah, so this is the theaters on the bay, guys. Right here that they have like some children's shows that they have some signs for, and it says $20 per show, which is incredibly reasonable. If you've ever tried to take in any kinds of art shows in Canada and you're going to like the bigger, fancier theaters, I mean, usually $80 to begin with. If you're going to like a famous Broadway show, like easily $200 or something like that. And even at the smaller theaters, because, you know, it's even harder probably for them to turn a profit, you know, they have to charge probably a minimum of $20, $30 for like a backstreet kind of theater, and then they're still, you know, starving artists. They don't make that much money. But here I think they have like a lot of funding. You know, I think there's a lot of wealthy people or businesses that fund these kinds of places here in Singapore, and then the public gets to, you know, benefit from the lower or free prices. So it's pretty cool. Like, I think that's amazing. Just read a comment there about the workers, just to end off that conversation. Jesse says Singapore has proper guidelines for domestic workers' wages and living conditions, but there are odd cases of abuse once in a while here. Yeah, that's good to know. I mean, you know, we'd like to not have any bad things happen in this world, but I guess it's just what happens when people are shitty to each other. But I hope that legislation does help deter most of the bad cases, and that the people who are in those conditions are able to have access to help and report those kinds of people. And hopefully over time there will be less and less, because that is not right. So yeah, beside the theaters here, they have these gorgeous gardens. Very nice. But we are gonna keep going this way. I think I walk down here. Yeah. Yeah, it's so lovely. They're all picnicking. I love it. So here we are, guys. We are coming up to the famous Marina Bay, arguably the most famous area in the city. And to just walk around this whole marina, I don't know for sure, but I think it would take you at least an hour, just that alone. So unfortunately, you know, today we're not gonna do the whole bay. We're just gonna do the portion that I think gives you guys the widest kind of look of all there is to see and do. So we're actually gonna go to the left, but while we're here at this corner, let me give you a view. Oh, so many people here today. Okay, yeah. So I did this walkway when I first got here, and you get a view of these beautiful skyscrapers. There's the sort of emblem of Singapore, which is the Merlion, right? Merlion, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. It's like half lion, half fish. That fountain right there, you will see that all over Singapore. So they have a big statue of him over there. And as we head on further to the left here, we have the famous Marina Bay Sands Hotel, which has the notorious infinity pool that just gives you a spectacular view of the city. You can only go there, from my understanding, if you booked a room there, or maybe have some friends that, you know, are in high places there to get you in. So maybe someday I'll be able to do that. But you also walk across the Marina Bay Hotel. Like, you actually can't see the platform, but behind it is where we're actually going to end the stream, which is Gardens by the Bay. It's on the other side of Marina Bay Sands. And then on the bottom part of the hotel, there is the Marina Bay Shops. Absolutely stunning shopping mall that they have there. Just amazing. And then the weird little sculpture building that they have there, I actually really like it. That is the Art Science Museum, which I plan to visit actually. So that's supposed to be a really great hotel that they have there. So that is where we are going to make our way towards, but I thought that we would walk down here this way, just because in my opinion it's a bit more of a scenic view, and we get to Marina Bay Sands area a little bit faster, because we've already been doing this stream now for an hour and 15 minutes. Because if I was gonna do, you know, all that I had planned and take you guys all around the marina, I think it would take 2.5, 3 hours. And it's going to get really hot soon. Like, it's already quite toasty. So unfortunately we can't do the whole marina today, but I feel like this should give you a fairly, you know, good overview of the area and what to kind of expect if you're coming here. Bud says, thanks for the wonderful chat, lots of memories. My first tiger beer was in Singapore, and also the hottest pepper I've ever eaten. Interesting. Be safe. What's next? Yeah, so I'm off to Japan on Wednesday. I'm starting in Osaka, and I'm going to be traveling around the country for about a month. I should be hitting up the cherry blossom season that is going on, but it's a little bit stressful actually, because the cherry blossom season, they can never predict for sure when it's going to happen. You know, they have their dates out right now that they think it's going to happen, but it's not for sure. And it's different in different parts of the country because it's all different elevations and different temperatures, you know, all that kind of stuff. So obviously I should catch it at some point in the places that I am, but you still actually don't know for sure. Like if a person was going to Japan with the sole intention of being there for cherry blossom season, and let's say they only had like a week or even 2 there, oh, like I'd be stressed. I'd be real stressed because you never know for sure when it's going to be. You could like, you know, it could come 2 weeks earlier than it was supposed to come, or come 2 weeks later than it was supposed to come, and you know, you can't change your trip, or at least most people can't. So it's actually a bit stressful to try and catch the cherry blossom season in Japan, or I guess anywhere. So I'll be there. I just don't know where I'll be when the blooms start to happen. Oh, I missed a super chat. And oh my goodness, an incredibly generous one. Thank you so much. I don't think I have seen this name before on my channel. Dunky Rookie, thank you so much. That is very kind of you. Hi, Alina. I'm a local here. So sweet of you. We were on the same flight from KL to Singapore? What? That's crazy. Rescheduled 30 minutes later. Remember, yes, you were. I didn't get a chance to say hi though. Enjoy your, check your Instagram DM, Instagram messages. Enjoy Singapore. Oh my God, what a small world. That is wild. Thank you so much. What is your name though? Is it Dunky Rookie on Instagram though? Please send him another message here, because unfortunately, you know, I get so many Instagram DMs, and unfortunately a lot of them, you know, just are a bit, you know, creepy, unfortunately. So, you know, I don't check them as much as I used to anymore. So I do unfortunately miss messages on there. If you have a very important message to send to me, and if it's not creepy, please don't email me creepy things. This is a PSA to anybody watching. Please email me. If you have something that you absolutely like need an answer from me, like email me. Instagram DMs, I get in there maybe once every few days, and I just like check the most recent ones. But oh my gosh, thank you so much, Dunky Rookie. That is so cool and kind of you. Amazing that we were on the same flight. And yeah, message me on here what your Instagram handle is so I can make sure I find the message that you sent. I don't think I see it on here yet. Amazing. Such a small world. Where was I? I think in KL there were 2 people that came up to me that watched my channel. It was so crazy. There was one from Alberta, and in Thailand too. I met somebody when I was with my dad. I met somebody from Saskatchewan, and then I was walking around and I met somebody from Alberta when I was in Bangkok. It was wild. So crazy. Wow. Small world. I can't get over it. Amazing. Okay guys, I am gonna flip the camera here. I am sweating like crazy. Whew. Once it gets past 12, I actually find that's like the hottest time. From like 12 to 2 it is hot, so that's why by 12 I'm gonna try and have shown you guys everything by that time, and I'm gonna go like chill somewhere air conditioned. Though I actually wanted to go get lunch at the Maxwell Center, go to Chinatown, go to the Hawker Center, but I don't know. I either have to take the subway or walk there, and I don't know if I want to do that. Okay, it's really hard to read your comments, guys, in the bright sunlight, so I'm gonna walk up here in the shade and still give you a view out this way. One sec. Whew. Oh, sad. Donkey Rookie, if you're watching, I still don't know what your Instagram handle name is. Please leave it in the well, maybe, I guess for privacy reasons, maybe you don't want to do that. So that's fine. I will take a look, but really want to say thank you. All right. So yeah, this is a great area to go for jogs, biking. Some bug just bit my ankle. All right. I have been lucky actually that more or less the whole time that I've been here, which sure is only 4 days, has been very good weather, because I know this time of year from what I was reading they could still just get a lot of rain. And I was watching another YouTube channel about their videos here that they were here recently, and they were saying that there was so much rain in the days that they were here. So I was a little bit worried that I was like, oh man, if I only get even just 1 day, you know, of sunshine while I'm here, that's gonna be so hard to try and film everything I need to film. So I'm very grateful that I've had such good weather to get all of my work done, even though I still have felt like I've been rushing like crazy to film everything just because I wanted to film so many things. At first I had maybe just like a handful of places that I was planning on putting in the video, but then the more I researched and the more that I walked around here and like found so many great places, I was like, oh no, I want to include this. So the video, oh my god, it's probably going to be at least like 20-30 minutes. It's probably going to be one of my longest YouTube videos, and I'm just going to put out one. I know I could probably put it into you know, different like, I don't know, do 2 or 3 separate videos, but no, I'd rather just do it all in one. So we'll see. Oh guys, it's really hard to read the comments right now. I'm gonna try my best, but it's just so bright out that I can barely see the screen. So please don't message me anything, you know, life-changing in the next little while. I can read some of them, but it's very bright out right now. Yeah, Jesse says there's an indoor food court on B2 of Marina Bay Sands. Yeah, I ate there last night actually. It's pretty good. I was able to get like an Indian food meal yesterday for about, I think it was $10.50, so that wasn't bad. Yeah, I guess I could do MBS, that's true. It's just the Maxwell Center has, you know, so many things that I really like, and it's actually kind of worth it to take the trek down there. I guess actually, to be honest, if I came back to Singapore, I wouldn't mind staying in Chinatown. Like, even though Campong Glam is like, oh, sorry about the wind. Even though Campong Glam is like, you know, really scenic, Chinatown might be a good area to stay in as well, because it is fairly close. It's probably just as close as Campong Glam is to the marina. It's pretty as well as like an area, and it has way more budget-friendly options, especially for food. So yeah, maybe if I come back to, well, I will come back to Singapore, I'll stay in Chinatown area. Look at this. Oh, it's so beautiful. And I don't know, it actually feels so different walking around here at night compared to the daytime, especially on the weekends, obviously, when it's really busy. Yeah. I'm just reading your comments here, guys. At least trying to. Yeah. Fabulous. Just fabulous. See, another thing that I really like about Singapore, and I really felt this on the first day that I was here, and I just like walked the city. You know, I walked the city, I saw so many different districts, And I really just like the energy here, you know? It's very calm. The people overall seem happy because, I mean, I assume most people here are, you know, fairly well off. They have good social services. It's still in Asia, so, you know, most people are probably still family oriented. So, you know, they have good community support. And, you know, and they don't seem, this is a weird thing to say, but they don't seem pretentious. You know, I think there's some places that you go where people are very wealthy in that area. Like, let's say Monaco, for example. For me, Monaco was cool, but it seemed a little bit pretentious. You know, just being honest, this was a long time ago. I have to go to Monaco again to maybe make that kind of statement now. But, you know, it's very flashy. It's a bit like they got to stick up their ass kind of thing. But here, there's probably, you know, millionaires, obviously, millionaires walking among us. And they just, you know, they just look like normal people. They're not even always wearing fancy things. Not that there's anything wrong with wearing fancy things. But, I don't know, it just has a more approachable and friendly kind of energy to it, even though it's a very wealthy kind of place. And I really like that. I don't really want to go to places where people are just trying to keep up with the Joneses and flashing it in everybody's face, and they put money above everything else. Like, that's not really the kind of place where I like to spend a lot of time. So even though Singapore is definitely a very wealthy place, in a weird way, people still kind of seem down to earth, or at least that's kind of been my experience. So I think that this is just a very special city, and I can say I haven't really seen anywhere quite like it before. Because even though there are similarities, I would say, between like Tokyo and Singapore with just how they run their city and the amazing social services they have, it's still, you know, a little bit different here. JT says people are happy because it's safe and we have social cohesion. Yeah, that's definitely a factor as well. Because yeah, see, here's the difference also between, let's say, like Singapore, and I mean, you can't really compare Japan. Let's just compare Tokyo. Let's just compare Tokyo and Singapore, because they're two kind of really major cities with, you know, a large population, though Tokyo is much bigger. In Tokyo, yes, you have some foreigners who live and work there. I'm friends with many of them. And, you know, just from kind of what some of them have told me, is that while they love living there, they never feel like they're truly, you know, a local, like they're truly Japanese. You know, they don't feel that they fit in as a local would in that place, even if they've lived there most of their lives and speak Japanese. It's just not the same, which is fine. Not everybody wants to, you know, have that kind of experience. But with Singapore, of course, you know, you have the locals that have been here for generations, but because there is just such a large amount of, well, immigrants, of foreigners who have chosen to live and work here, and it's such a blend of diversity that lives here, I feel like you could feel much more like a local being an outsider here than you would in a place like Tokyo. Because, you know, when people are walking on the street here, like, I don't know how long they've, you know, lived here or if they're a tourist. It's a very, very international sort of city. So that I find interesting as well. And they do seem like very tolerant of different religions and, you know, outlooks on life. So I really like that as well. So this is the Helix Bridge that we have been walking on. Pretty cool. Here we got Marina Bay Sands. We are gonna walk on the harbor. That's the beautiful Art Science Museum. And then, if you guys couldn't tell when we were walking past it, that is a stadium. That is a big stadium over there. Somebody who knows, please comment, what kind of shows do they have here? Because I actually don't know. Is it like sports or is it something else? I assume it's sports. I just don't know what kind.
Like this is what I told them about the other one.
Let's see here. Jesse says Singaporeans aren't known for their fashion sense. We travel around with t-shirt and shorts for most of the time because it's hot. Yeah, see, like I love that. Like even when I was in the business district, like sure, most people were in suits because it was like a weekday, and I think, you know, many there are working from offices. But then there's people just like walking around, technically what I'm wearing today, of like, you know, athleisure kind of stuff, like, you know, almost American style. I would call, you know, Americans and Canadians, we have the most casual sense of style, to put it kindly, where, you know, they sometimes even go for like a really nice lunch wearing like a t-shirt and shorts or something like that. And I noticed that here as well, and I feel like, wow, like for a very affluent kind of city, like a lot of people actually dress very casual. It's really not flashy. Like sure, if you're, yeah, maybe going to Marina Bay Sands and going to a really fancy dinner, people would dress up, but like just on the streets, I don't know, I wouldn't say that people are, you know, dressing to impress like a crazy amount, which, like I said, I'm comfortable with, because I come from Canada and we're not really used to being all fancy for just an average day. All right, we're gonna go down here. This is a lovely area for a walk, and especially to watch the sunset. Obviously, Gardens by the Bay would be a great place to watch the sunset as well, but just on the marina here is also really nice. Reading your comments here, guys. Oh, Carolyn says that's where people sit to watch the F1 race, that stadium. What do you mean? F1 is race cars, right? Where does the track go? Oh, or the track goes underneath there and it goes through there? What? Somehow that looks like such a small space to me for race car driving, or am I ignorant that F1 means something else? I thought F1 was like race car driving. Yeah, Formula One. I'm confused. I would assume the area would look very different if they're really prepped for that sort of thing, because somehow it doesn't look like it's that wide for cars. But obviously I have not been here when that has been going on. Look at this, guys. Oh, Jesus. Get run over here by the bikers. Sorry about the wind. It's bad right now, guys. I'm going to try and shield the mic, but I don't know if it'll help. So, this beautiful pond that they have here outside of the museum. Look at all the water lilies they have. Oh, that is such a strong wind. I'm almost scared my phone's going to get off the gimbal. Jesus, is it super loud? I apologize. I'm trying to cover the mic, but I think, is it better like this? I'm kind of like blocking it with my back. Holy hell. Okay, sound of the wind is loud, not good. All right, hopefully it stops here soon. Hopefully, I'm holding the camera like right in front of my chest, so I'm trying to block it as much as I can. And we'll slowly make our way down here. Yeah, it's actually been quite windy a lot of these days. It's been good weather, but it's been breezy, you know. So, oh, there, it's kind of calming down now, I think. Aw, thank you very much to Shigeru, my lovely Japanese friend. I will see you when I am in Tokyo. Thank you very much for the super chat and coming to the stream. Hope you're doing great. And for the cherry blossom tips, I will be checking them as I go. Because yeah, I actually really don't know. Yeah, I think I'm going to be in Hiroshima when the blossoms there start anyway. But if they are extending into early April, I may add some other stops to my itinerary to watch them in other places as well. Yeah. Lovely. Okay. So we're still going around Marina Bay Sands. We're gonna go inside to get to the Gardens by the Bay area, but I wanted to take you guys through this walkway area because it is so beautiful. And over here they have a gorgeous Louis Vuitton store. Very unique build. Look at that. I don't know if in the luxury stores you have to like make an appointment to actually shop there, or if you can walk in. But I would actually go in the store just to like take a look around because it's such a unique location. The view with that glass would probably just be stunning because it is all like a glass window. So you'd have a lovely view as you're shopping. Great idea. It's cute. The girls are in like princess style dresses. Love it. Oh my gosh, those dogs are cute. Oh, so cute. There's actually quite a few dogs here. I'm surprised. Because I would assume that, you know, the apartments probably aren't super big here. And in Japan, for example, or I mean Tokyo, I should say, in Tokyo, it's rare to see people with like larger dogs there because, yeah, once again, the properties are so small. Having a pet, like getting the pet themselves usually costs like $1,000. If you go to like pet stores or anything in Japan, it's like ridiculously expensive, and all their upkeep and stuff is also much higher than other countries. So I actually wonder how Singapore compares of how much it costs to have a pet here. I assume it's quite a bit. Okay. Want to get in people's pictures, but it's hard. Everybody's taking a picture. Oh, wait. Was this here? When I was here, I must have been. The water level must be very low right now. Somehow I don't remember these fountain things just a few days ago, unless I'm totally blanking. Is the water level just really low now, or did they install something? Or does Alina just have a very bad memory at this point in time? I don't remember seeing this. I don't know what this is. Huh. Okay. Odd. But yeah, beautiful view, guys, of downtown. That's obviously, yeah, like the business district. Nice place to walk around in. Really good restaurants down there. There's quite a few hawker centers downtown, which is nice to see. Not just really expensive places. There's the Apple store. I guess I didn't point that out. Kind of looks like an apple, but they should have like put a leaf or something on top. Maybe that's a little bit too cheesy. All right. So here is the shops at Marina Bay Sands, one of the most beautiful malls that I have ever been in. It is stunning. I guess I can show it to you guys. I think I should be able to come in here and stream. You know, I'm always careful with following rules, especially here in Singapore. You know, I know that they actually give very strict offenses if you break the rules. So I haven't seen any signs of whether you're allowed to, you know, film in places. So I assume it's fine for me to have my stream in here, because I'll just show you guys a little bit of the mall, and then we're gonna go up to Gardens by the Bay because I want to show you guys the beautiful trees and that whole area. Open sesame. Oh my God, that air conditioning feels so nice. So nice. But yeah, obviously Marina Bay Sands is more of a luxury mall. Most of the stores that they have here are quite expensive. There are a few places that are more mid-range, I would say. And there is a food court that is fairly reasonably priced. It's pretty good, and it does have a lot of options. Not as cheap as the hawker centers, but you know, you can't really expect that in this kind of place. Angelina, I love, from Paris. It's like a lovely cafe that has really good hot chocolate and coffees and desserts. Beautiful area for it. And then as you can see here, look at this. How cute is this? It's kind of like a mini Venice. It's actually not that long of a, you know, I guess, what do you call it? Riverway in the mall. It's not very long, but it's cute. Like, I like it. And, you know, especially for kids, it would be a fun thing to do. So they have that going up and down this main part of the mall. They have all these like walk across areas, which I think is nice. It's just very light and airy, and it stretches like all the way down there too. So it's a very big mall. You could spend a lot of time in here. Okay. So what we are going to do is go to Gardens by the Bay, and the escalator is where? Okay, that's, oh, right there. I can go up that one. Let me go up that one. Right? Yeah, I'll go up that one. Okay. Oh, this is an interesting comment from Help Help. As of January 2023, the average salary in Singapore is 5,783 per month in Singaporean dollars. So for people who relate to US as a currency exchange, I would estimate that that's approximately 45. I think that's about 4,500 US dollars a month, which, yeah, is obviously a much higher salary than in Canada, for example, much higher than in Canada. No, this is the down one. Where's the up one? Oh, right there, Alina, Gardens by the Bay. I did not see it. Okay, this is where I came down yesterday. I thought there was an up and a down in this area, but no, I have to go to this side. Oh, thank you very much. Dunky Rookie got back to me. Okay, awesome. I will look up your comment on Instagram. Yeah, thank you for, you know, any suggestions you sent. I really appreciate it, and sorry I didn't see your comment sooner. I, you know, made the best that I could with the accommodation I had, but now that I've been here longer, now I think I have a better, you know, idea of what to expect in that regard. So thank you for that, and I will get back to you on Instagram. All right, guys. So yeah, to get to Gardens by the Bay, which you can see at any point during the day. I think they are open from like 9 a.m. to, well, the last entry for the Skywalk anyway is 8:30 because the last show is at 8:45. So let's just say they're from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. You can go to Gardens by the Bay. But most people obviously go to Gardens by the Bay to see the lights show that they have. And if you follow me on Instagram, I already have posted my experience there. It's incredible, highly recommend. And it's a nightly light and music show that happens at 7:45 p.m. and I believe there is still the second show at 8:45 p.m. I've only been to the 7:45 p.m. one, but yeah, I think there's one at 8:45 as well, so you can do that. Look at this. Amazing. Very well constructed mall. Like, the architecture here in Singapore is so impressive. It's so futuristic without being weird. You know, there's some buildings that, I don't know, they're just not, what's the word? They're almost hard to use, you know, because the architecture is just so weird. But here it's like, it makes sense while still being kind of different and futuristic and out there. So as an Aquarius, as a zodiac, obviously, I like that sort of thing. And the view from up here is just great as well. If you want like a really awesome place to just like hang out and chill, come up here. Like, this is great too. Watching the sunset from here would also be great. Look at Marina Bay Sands. Wow. So nice. So lovely. It's a little windy, of course. Try and get inside soon. I'm so sorry, I'm getting in everybody's pictures. I apologize. And look at this entrance too, right? So yeah, Marina Bay Sands has like the 3 different pillars of the hotel, and in between these two, there's the entrance to the Gardens by the Bay, and it's kind of like this walkway that goes across there. But look at the effect that it has on the outside. Almost looks like water glistening. Very cool. Holy moly, guys, we have been going for almost 2 hours. It actually hasn't felt that long, which is good. I mean, it means we're having a good time, seeing lots of things, and also it's not so unbearably hot that I'm like, you know, dying as I have in other streams. Even though the wind is annoying, it kind of helps me like cool off as we're walking around, so I'm actually not sweltering hot, which is great. Oh, correct me if I'm wrong. I think the big Ferris wheel thing, is that the Singapore Eye? Or am I just making up names, assuming that because the London Eye is named that this is a Singapore Eye? I thought I remember seeing Singapore Eye. Tell me if that's the proper name for the Ferris wheel. It looks really cool. It would be an amazing view. Singapore Flyer, thank you. Yeah, see, I was making up things. Singapore Flyer. I think it would be a cool thing to go on, but it's 40 Singapore dollars from what I saw. And, you know, you can go up so many places and get an amazing view and, you know, maybe some food for that $40. So I don't know if I would say that is an absolute must to go do that, but if you really like Ferris wheels and you want a great view, you know, that would be a nice thing to do as well. Okay, Alex says that these are cypress trees, and Pin Dip Rolly says that these are Asoka trees. I can't tell you because I don't know what trees those are, but they're very nice. They're beautiful, and they are kind of different looking, I guess. Maybe they are like a rare kind of breed that they put, yeah, with like a luxury hotel. My mom says nice view. So what's cool actually about this walkway here is that you do get, oh, and it's a little air conditioned, is you do get a peek into Marina Bay Sands from here, right? Because this is kind of the first building on the corner. On this side, they have this like kind of art installation on the top. And then they have the lobby down there. I believe that's the check-in counter. And then they have a lovely lounge, or I guess it's kind of a restaurant over there. I wonder actually if anybody can use the restaurants here in Marina Bay Sands. Maybe comment down below if you know. I know that, yeah, like I said, the pool is for guests only from my understanding, but maybe you could come down here and like have a coffee or have a meal. So that's pretty lovely that they have that. And then on the other side here, they have, I guess, some more restaurants. They probably have quite a few different restaurants within the area, nice bars and stuff. So just walking through here would be really lovely as well. Maybe I'll do that tomorrow actually. I haven't walked in the bottom part of the building yet, so maybe that's something I'll do tomorrow if it's raining out. Jesse says Singapore flyer is not quite worth it in my opinion. Going to the rooftop bars are better. You can also check out level 33, a bar with a sky view. Thank you very much, Jesse. Yeah, like that's what I would kind of consider as well. Is like if you're going to be spending $40 like for just the view, well, at least you can get like a drink with that view for that kind of money. So there's got to be, you know, sky bars where you can at least get one drink for around that same price. So you might be better off to just go to a really nice sky bar and get a view and something to drink and eat. All right, so we exit here. Oh my God, is that the wind or, oh. Jesus, I was like, I'm not very strong if I can't push this thing, it's pull. But they didn't write that on the door, so it's not my fault. All right. I think they're still doing some construction here on this part, but you can already see the trees. They're so beautiful. And I assume these, you know, the whole Gardens by the Bay exhibit has been here for a long time, because even in the earliest time, I remember seeing, you know, these futuristic looking trees. Oh, that wind though. That wind though. And yeah, I feel like they must have been around for at least 10 to 20 years. Obviously, they've built them or, you know, looked after them really well. But it is just such a, what's the word? Like whenever I see these kinds of trees, like it just, you know, reminds me, it's symbolic, there's the word, it's symbolic of Singapore. It's just like this landmark that even if they built these in another country, it would just feel like they're copying Singapore. Like this is something, you know, that's exclusive to Singapore, and it's just so special. So, very cool. Holy moly, that wind. I apologize guys if it's like really messing up the sound. Unfortunately, there's not a lot I can do other than like shield the mic, but wind is hard to fix during a live stream. So I'm gonna give you a view up here, but then we will go down another level as well. Oh, somebody's saying rain will be coming. That could be it. Like there is a forecast of rain later today, but I guess it could come early, so hard to say. So yeah, first of all, this whole area is such a garden paradise. Just walking around here is nice, and this is all free. To just walk around the park, all free. Absolutely beautiful. And then right in front of us, you can see the beautiful Gardens by the Bay, or maybe actually this whole area is called Gardens by the Bay. I thought it was just trees, but actually I realized that maybe it is this whole area that they call that. But you can see the skywalk that goes alongside the outside ring of the trees. Definitely worth it, but as I said in my Instagram, it's hard to time being up there when the light show is happening because you never know how long the line is going to be and how long it's going to take. So I would actually say come during the day. Come during the day, get a great view from the skywalk, and then watch the light show at night from the bottom because it's still a really, you know, lovely view and experience from the bottom. So fantastic. And then over there, I haven't been in those yet, but those are kind of like covered greenhouses where they have different, you know, sort of events and experiences. Like one of them, I'm pretty sure, is this Avatar exhibit where they have a recreation, you know, of the Avatar world, and they have like a big indoor man-made waterfall, which is crazy. But the tickets for there as well are quite a bit. I think it's like $30 or $40. So I'm not sure I'll be doing that, but that's, you know, a really cool thing to do in this area as well. And behind the trees there is food courts, and there's actually a Shake Shack, standalone Shake Shack over there. Just a really lovely area. So you could come, you know, to the marina, check out the mall, walk around this beautiful park. You could spend a whole day in this area easily. So we're gonna go down the escalator, and I'm gonna try and find a secluded sort of area to end off the live stream with not too much wind, because up here it's obviously pretty strong wind, and whoever commented that it might rain is probably right. That it is probably going to rain sooner than later. Big thank you. Oh, look at that view. Look at that view, guys. Have fun in Singapore from Loy Nguyen, right? That's a popular last name in Vietnam, I believe. Am I butchering it? I'm sorry if I butchered it, Loy, but thank you very much for the super chat. I am having so much fun here in Singapore. Jim says it rains for half an hour around 4 p.m. local time for half hour year round, but during monsoon season it rains hard. I didn't know rain could bounce till I got caught in one for 4. I assume you meant to put hours. Oh my god. Yeah, no, I assume the rainy season here is no joke. I mean, in all of Southeast Asia it's no joke, and that's why, as much as I like love so many places here in Southeast Asia, if this ever did become my home base, you know, anywhere in Southeast Asia, I don't think I could handle monsoon season. Like, I couldn't live here year round. I just couldn't do it. You guys know how fussy I get about Vancouver. I think Vancouver's nothing compared to the kind of rains that they get here. With Vancouver, it just sucks because it's almost year round. So no shade to Vancouver. It's an amazing city, but I know I probably couldn't live in Vancouver either because I'm just such a stickler for, I need sunny weather most of the year. So yeah, if I lived in Southeast Asia, I would not be here during monsoon season, but this time of year with this kind of beautiful weather, I would happily use this as a home base because there's so many cities in Southeast Asia that are absolutely amazing. Thank you so much to the lovely Brianna for the super chat. So kind of you, coming out lovely. Lovely to see you out and about in a tropical paradise, Alina. Thank you so much. Hope you are doing great and hope you are somewhere warm and lovely as well. I'm sorry, Loy. Thank you once again for the super chat. I'm sorry once again if I said your last name incorrectly, but that's a very cute super sticker. Thank you. You guys are lovely. Let me give you a quick view here before we end things off. I actually haven't walked down around this area at all, to be honest. Maybe that's what I should do here while it's not pouring rain just yet. Usually I've only come down here for Gardens by the Base, or the trees. So I just walk across this bridge and then you have another viewing platform and then you go down. So that's the only kind of area that I've explored in this area since I've come at night. But maybe now that I'm here during the day, take a little walk around here. So yeah. If you guys come to Singapore, this is an absolute must. And I think it's safe to say that Singapore is an absolute must. You just gotta save your money up for Singapore, and maybe, I don't know, have some friends or something that you stay here with or something. But even if you came for a day trip, like, to be honest, even if you only came here for a day, let's say you were staying in like Kuala Lumpur and then you get your accommodation or something, it's really bright out, I'm gonna put on my glasses. If you only came to Singapore for a day, it would be worth it. So I highly urge all of you, if you get the chance and you're in Southeast Asia, come to Singapore. It's amazing. I did not expect to like it this much. I did not expect to even be okay with spending the money I have here, because I'm like, it's worth it. It is worth it. One of the few first world countries that I think, you know, is worth it, and that can charge that kind of money because they are giving you a fabulous experience, and there are so many things that are actually free. You know, that's the thing. It's like there are places like this that you can come and just be an absolute beauty and are absolutely for free. You can go to the theaters, you know, by the bay, and it's free. So there's probably some YouTube vlogs of people who have been here for quite a while and can give even more suggestions of how you can make Singapore a more budget-friendly experience. This is obviously just my first time here, and I've only spent, you know, 3-4 days. So check those out, you know, if that's something that you're concerned about as well. But all in all, it's just such a lovely place to visit. So thank you all so much for coming out for this live stream. It has been over 2 hours now. It actually went so quickly, but I am starting to feel it in my voice. So I may just walk around here a little bit, and then I need to get into some air conditioning, get a drink, and really should have brought an umbrella today. Dang it. Hopefully I don't get caught in the rain. We'll see how things go. So thank you all so much for coming out. Thank you so much to everybody who sent a super chat. All of that will be going into continuing my work here with this channel, investing in gear, and paying for my $7 lattes at Arabica. Because unfortunately a good like 10% of my daily budget here in Singapore has gone to coffee, because that is my one vice that I am very reluctant to give up. But thankfully in Japan they have, you know, good coffee as well that doesn't cost $7, so I'm looking forward to that. So sending you guys lots of love. Hope you're having a fantastic day wherever you are. And yeah, just a quick note on the next live stream. Obviously it will be in Japan, but I don't think it will be in Osaka, to be honest, because that would just be in a week from now. I don't usually do a live stream every single week, and I'm going to be playing catch up a little bit in Osaka because of everything that I filmed here. I have to edit, so I'm probably going to do that right when I get to Osaka. I probably won't have time to do a live stream, but I'm for sure going to do one from Kyoto. I think I'm going to be in Kyoto for a whole week. Obviously an amazing place in Japan, and I think that would be a really good place to do a nice long live stream and really show you guys Kyoto, because that's a place that I've been twice and it's incredible. So that will probably be in 2 weeks, in about 2.5 weeks to be exact from now. So stay tuned for that. I'll put a community post out a few days before I plan to do that, most likely on a weekend as always. So yeah, thank you guys so much. Hope you're having a great time, and I will see you in Japan.